Hello, work life warriors. I hope you're doing well. Today, I wanted to stop past and talk about a quote I've read that I think is so interesting. It comes from a book that I started last week that I already did a couple of videos on, but I wanted to talk specifically about this quote and see what you think about it. So we all know that I call you all work life warriors, and the reason why that I call you work life warriors is because work and life is the I guess foundation of our life. And I say warrior because you have to be a warrior for your own well-being, your own health, for your own happiness, for your own joy. You have to decide that nothing is worth trading, your joy, happiness, and peace for. And you have to be a warrior in, you know, moving through life, being strong in who you are, in acquiring what you need, regardless of what others may say or try to hinder you or stand in your way or make it hard for you. You have to be a warrior, and regardless of what they're doing, or even if they agree with what you're doing, you have to do it anyway. And you have to do it for you. You have to do what's best for you to make your work life have meaning. So that's why I call you work life warriors. You, as the warrior, give meaning to your work life. How you pursue it, the way you pursue it, the meaning you give to it, how you meet it is what gives meaning to it. And so as a warrior, you want to give meaning to what you spend the most time with in life, which is work. And so this quote comes from Rebels and Devils, and it is a quote from Victor Sanchez, and it says, "Warriors count on the awareness of their own impending death, performing each act as though it was their last battle and therefore their best, with death as a constant companion who infuses each act with power. They transform into magic their time as living persons on this earth. The awareness of inevitable death endows them with the disinterest to be free from attachments while at the same time not indulging in denial. Detached from everything, conscious of life's brevity, and in constant struggle, warriors begin to arrange life through the power of their decisions. They work each moment to achieve control over themselves, thereby gaining control over their personal world." And absolutely, that is the perfect definition of what I mean a warrior, as far as being a work-life warrior. So when it's saying being aware of your impending death, we all have the same amount of time in a day, and everything you do comes at an opportunity cost. You do not have the time or energy to be at work where you hate it. You hate what you do. You hate the people that you work with. You hate the whole experience. You don't even like what you do for a living. You would have chosen differently. You only have one life to live. One. And it is up to you to honor the fact that you don't know when you're going to go. And with this one life, you have to make it what you want it to be, what you desire it to be, what you will it to be. It is your responsibility to do that. And when you're going to work every day, going through the motions, you are in denial that time is fleeting. It is not guaranteed. Why would you spend time being miserable, spending time doing what you dislike or what you don't want to do because it's mandatory, because you're obligated to do it? That is not respecting that life is fleeting. You don't know when's your last moment. You don't know when you're taking your last breath. You don't know when you'll see the people you love again, or if you will. So it's important for you to make your decisions through the lens that life is temporary. You're going to move on. Don't make decisions as if life lasts forever and that you have unlimited time to accomplish your dreams and do the things you want to do. Yes, I want to be healthy. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. You don't know if you have tomorrow, next week, next year. You don't know that. So a warrior is a person that in the moment decides, I don't know if I have even 2 hours from now. So I'm going to take this time today, right now, and do what makes me feel my best. I'm going to serve myself, because in serving myself and me feeling my best means that I can give my best to the world. It has to be the lens in which you see your experience. And it says so they act as if though this was their last battle, therefore their best. You want to do everything 100%. You want to do your best in everything. It's not about the outside result. It's about that you showed up and you gave your absolute best regardless of the result. It's training. It's training yourself to care more about the effort than the result. So you want to show up and do your best and be your best regardless of, of time. You want each time to be better than the last time, because you don't know if this time will be the last time. So each time, when you keep in mind that we are slowly dying, each time should be your best time, because you get better with time. And if you're not getting better doing the same thing with time and you don't enjoy it, why would you spend your fleeting time that way? With death as a constant companion who infuses each act with power, they transform into magic their time as living persons on the earth. So it's like they transcend all the human suffering on earth. So yes, you are born here without your permission. And yes, you have to go through different things that you did not ask to go through. Absolutely. Yes, you may even be obligated to things that you fully did not understand before you committed. Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that you can't give 100%. It doesn't mean that just because it's not ideal that you can't transcend your circumstances, which makes you larger than life, if you can transcend them. So yes, I may not enjoy scrubbing toilets if I'm a janitor, but I'll be the best damn toilet scrubber you'll ever know. And in doing so, I create space, room, opportunity for me to grow and expand more. It leaves more room, not less. So when they say you transcend as a living person on earth, everyone wants to do that. Everyone wants to be a legend where they're unbothered. They just go through life and they just seem to win all the time. They're just so unbothered. Everything just works in their favor. Anything they touch is gold. Everybody wants to be that. But that person is the person who understands that this is a temporary situation. And I may not have enough time to let this time be a practice time. It can't be a practice. It has to be my best, because it could be my last. Absolutely. And then it says the awareness of the inevitable death endows them with the disinterest to be free from attachment, while at the same time not being in denial. Absolutely. When you realize that, time is fleeting, you go, I'm not in denial. I have accepted that this is a temporal experience, that I won't be here forever. With that, I can show up. I can show out. I could be my best self. I can do the things that I want to do. I can not care about the small things. I could not sweat the small stuff. I could laugh. I could play. I could enjoy myself. I could not take life so seriously, because when you go back and you think about it, and let's say you're in your last days and you begin to calculate all the time you spent angry, upset, worried, frustrated, sad, all of the negative emotions, you may feel a little disappointed that you wasted time that way. Now, I'm not saying that you should not feel your feelings. I will never say that. Everybody should take their time to feel what you feel, self-reflect, but you don't stay there. You don't stay there. It is in your best interest that you don't stay there, that you realize, again, I made a mistake, I did something silly, but it's not that serious in the grand scheme of things. I tried, I'm proud of myself, and I'm going to let go and not be so serious and enjoy my last bit of time that I have here, because I don't know how much time I have. Detached from everything, conscious of life's brevity, and in constant struggle Warriors begin to arrange life through the power of their decisions. Absolutely. Once you decide to take the warrior mindset in life, you realize that everything boils down to the choices that you make, that your life is a representation of all the choices that you have made thus far. And so if you don't like the choices that you make another choice. It's just that easy. Make another choice and follow through. Stay committed to your choice. Choices are just that, choices. You made one choice, you'll get another opportunity to make another choice, and there will always be choices to be made. You want to make sure that the choice that you are making are through the lens of you know power instead of fear. You want and power as in don't know when's my last moment, so I'm gonna do this because I really want to do it, as opposed to I don't know what people will say about me, so I won't do this, and I would have to live with what people say about me until I die, and I don't know if I can handle that, so I'll just not do this particular thing. And it doesn't serve you or the world not to do that thing or whatever it is that you desire to do, want to do, was born to do, whatever your mindset behind that. Not doing it doesn't serve you or serves the world. So every decision gets you one step closer to the person you want to be and the experience that you want to have. And so you take your decisions seriously. You understand them, you do the work, you think about them, and you do not take decisions lightly. And so the last sentence says, they work each moment to achieve control over themselves, thereby gaining control over their personal world. So no one will be able to control your personal world but you, not your parents, not your managers, not your leaders, not your CEOs, not your politicians. No one will be able to control your inner world but you. And it starts with your choices. You have to choose to pick the decisions that will work in your best interest, that work to control yourself, to discipline yourself so that you can move towards the person you want to be, the person you think you were born to be. But you can't do it if you do not get control over yourself, if you do not practice discipline. And without disciplining yourself, you have no control over your personal world. And without any control over your personal world, it means you have no control over your external world, which again, you will never have control over your external world. But your external world can align with your internal world. Most of the time it is. So if you have a lot of chaos going on the outside, it's probably because you have a lot of chaos going on internally. So to resolve it internally, which means to make better choices that bring you closer to who you said you wanted to be, when you do that work, it gives you control over your personal world first, which then becomes like a mirror to your external world. So if you can control your personal world, your external world is pretty easy, because the real battle is within. And so I noticed that as I begin to clear up a lot of my drama, chaos, and madness, is as I cleaned up my internal world, my external world began to change. Internally, always, regardless of what's happening, bad things happen to me just like everyone else. But in the midst of me feeling sad or frustrated, whatever bad emotion I'm feeling, deep down in my pit, I always feel peace and joy. And that's ultimately what we all want. We want to feel peace and joy, even when our outside world is crashing down and we running around screaming, the sky's falling. We still want to ultimately feel like, girl, you being a drama queen, because you know everything is going to be all right. Deep down inside, you have peace and joy, and you know that it will work itself out. And the only way that you can have that peace and joy is through your own choices, by controlling yourself, by controlling your inner world. And you know that your external world is soon to follow. And so again, we've been talking a lot about like character and personality. The more you work on your character, the more your internal world changes, and the more your external world begins to reflect your internal world. So if you want peace and joy and happiness and all these great things internally, you have to find a way to generate it yourself, and then the world will bring you more of it. And so as a warrior, it's your job to create peace. Warriors keep peace. They keep peace by making decisions that are peaceful, decisions that work for them and not against them. A decision that is not peaceful works against you. And a warrior knows its best bet is to make decisions and choices that work for them, to give them mastery over their lives, control over their lives. Therefore, they can have peace and joy in their internal world, which translate to peace and joy in their external world. It doesn't mean that you're going to be absent of pain and suffering. That's the human experience. You will still feel pain and suffering. You will experience it internally and externally, but you'll have a deep foundation that tell you everything is going to be all right. And as long as you continue to do the work to make the best decisions for you, everything will be just fine. It will work out just the way it needs to be. You have to have faith. You have to believe. And you have to expect that it will happen just the way you said it would happen. And so I just thought that that was a really powerful quote. It helps to explain the whole work-life warrior. It is the perfect quote to get you to understand how important it is for you to be a warrior for your well-being while working and living. You have to put yourself first, prioritize, choose self-love, self-care, self-worth, self-value, self-respect before anything else in this world. It's so important that you do that, because that is the only way that a warrior can maintain control over his internal world, is through the choices, or her internal world is through the choices that they make. And so you want to continue to get the information needed so that you make the best choices in any given situation. And a warrior or a master is a person who goes out and get the information to make the right choices, to have control and dominion over their lives. So tell me what you think about the quote. How do you feel about warriors? How do you feel about being called a warrior? What are your thoughts? Any other quotes about warriors that you would like to share with me? Please share below. Tell me what you think about this video and how you feel about the quote, and how do you feel about being a warrior for your own life, for your own well-being, for your experience. So I hope that helps, work-life warriors. Enjoy your day.